I score really high on every single test I've taken for multiple learning disabilities. I can't even remember all of them, about 6 out of 10. Really high. And also, every quotient test for autism or neurodivergent or being on the spectrum I've taken, I've scored really high also. Way higher than the average in every single way. But the one that I've scored the highest at was one I did today, which was called the CAT Q, and that's about how much time a person, or the level of which, or it's hard for me to explain, but that the high masking to fit in, to be normal, to be able to be in society, to whatever, for multitudes of reasons, because every person who's on the spectrum has had a different experience in this life, and that has a huge impact. We're finding out, I'm discovering as I'm watching and learning about the science around all of this. And I hope someday I can get proper care. The VA just doesn't listen to anything I say to them about any of this, or do what it takes to get me what I need. So we will find a way. We will find a way. But as far as I'm concerned, I am ASD. I'm autistic, and I was born like that. And I think it's wonderful. And I think it's amazing. I just wish I'd grown up around some people that maybe were like me, or that I've been able to get some help or treatment as somebody with ASD, but that was not my life, you see. My life is one full of trauma and abuse and hate. And not only that, but was born queer, trans, partially developed, frail, see-through skin, wispy white hair, white blonde eyebrows, screaming, so emotional, so intense. But I knew immediately how different I was because of how I was just treated. Like, it's something you don't necessarily know consciously until you live a while and you start to understand all these feelings I've had my whole life. I was right. I was right. I'm not going to get into all the trauma I went through. I just want you to know that it's been one hell of a ride. And I've survived high masking, non-stop living in terror and fear my entire life. My head is always on a swivel. So imagine, you take all of that from my childhood and me learning how to act and be like everybody else to fit in somehow. All of the ways and all of the things, including not being too GAY or FAGGY, according to the things my family would call me. And then they forced my transition as a teen when I hadn't properly, according to them, gone through puberty. Things worked pretty well, but I was still very lithe, and some things hadn't developed, and et cetera, and I had already been forced through a whole lot of horrible naturopathic procedures, like cranial, the balloon in the nose and cranial adjustments they used to force me to do. Oh, they'd hold me down. They hold me down and they're... It can take only mild. It can take only mild trauma for a person on the spectrum to trigger their brain into a whole different way of surviving and living. And that's what I've been doing intrinsically. Like, my brain's just been making it happen, and that's why I'm always moving and stimming and so exhausted, and why now I'm trying to understand, oh geez, I have to give myself this time to be calm and easy because I've never experienced it. So even though I still don't experience it here, making my body go through the days with ease starts to affect this and starts to let me know, okay. But at the same time, as I'm trying to have relationships at all, messaging people, running my YouTube, Facebook, my own family is like, unless there's multiple boundaries, it's so like I don't know how to be. And I just will continually shift modalities to try to please. So one thing I have focused on a lot that I am super proud of is that in this journey and on our YouTube, Did You Love? This is the most, absolutely most I've been me in my entire life. And oh, it's kind of really nice and quite a relief to start to understand why I experience what I do like I do, and why everything is so difficult. Why I'm disabled now, like beyond ASD with the CPTSD and this OCD, which is also with the gender dysphoria and all these other things, and being forced into a transition as a teen with drugs and naturopathic medicines and steroids, and I don't even know what else they forced into me. None of it could change who I would fall in love with or not fall in love with, as I fell in love with everybody, every kind of person. Didn't matter. I just had to choose. I had to choose based on social contracts and agreements who I was allowed to be with or not. The military made that simple for me. They said, you can join if you're a heterosexual. I said, what's a heterosexual? They said, you only get with girls. And I said, okay, easy deal. You know, and then I skirted any other questions about anything that may have happened at any point in time in my life, starting as a young child with abuse all the way before I turned 20. I had various experiences, and I was freaked out that they were going to ask me some other questions, but they just said, okay, sounds good, sign here. And I did. And then I kept that agreement. I kept that agreement my entire military career. It didn't stop me from being attracted or falling in love with people. I just made the choice to not do anything about it or not be with them, which was so weird to me because I could do that and then only go be with girls I loved. I could do that. That was wonderful. It's wonderful. It's like Disney, because I have those Disney dreams. I didn't watch movies growing up about it being okay for any other people to be together, you see. So, it was never okay for me to be anything other than hetero, straight, and a man, you see. And I mastered it. Oh, I mastered every bit of it. I could be in front of thousands, not even blink an eye. Now I can barely make it through a 15-second YouTube video without starting to shake or cry. And I use this mostly for practice, for public access. You see, that's why I go live and I do all this stuff. So it helps me learn how to go food shopping, because the more and more I become me, but nobody sees me except you, I still don't exist out there. And I'm scared, so I never go into public looking like I want to or how I feel, ever, unless I have somebody that I love and trust with me, that I know loves and trusts me too. And then we go do it together, and it's like, yeah, that's an adventure. And now I finally know also that if people reach under my skirt or touch me on places on my body I don't want to, I can say, no, thank you, that's not okay, don't do that. If you do it again, I'm calling the police, or just call the police. It's not okay. And most people don't understand that a person on a spectrum, especially somebody who's also very empathic like me, HSP, and with ADHD, most of the things I have and deal with are because of my neurodiversity, which I think is awesome, my queerness, which I think is awesome, my androgyny, my awesomeness about all that as I was born with, my whole two-spirit, all of it, I love it. It's the life I was born into and what they did and how I was treated and how they treated each other, and generational abuse, generational PTSD, and just people trying to survive, but really horrible people, and never ever understanding in any way, shape, or form that I was non-binary and ASD. But I honestly don't think it would have mattered, because they were already beating me for being weird. How much weirder could I have been if I would have told them, as I started to learn about these other feelings, when they already were hurting me just for acting a little different, being so different. I am embracing myself and my trueness finally. Oh, I still get beat up for it pretty good. A lot of it is just their voices in my head and all the bad memories. That's part of CPTSD. So as I go forward, though, I know to be much more gentle with myself, and that everything I've been saying is true. I need self-love and self-care, and I need to learn how to do these things because they were never taught to me. Oh, and I'm scared. I'm so scared when I'm alone. So I'm so thankful that I have this beautiful, beautiful baby. Yes. That's my Hana. Catch you next time. Thanks for listening. I hope it helps you in some way, shape, or form, and that you're able to learn and glean. And please share your experiences with me. All right. See you next time at DJ Talks. This is the real. I don't know how much more a real a podcast could get. I need somebody to go live with me and do interview style sometime. That'd be tight. But no edits. I'm not into editing unless it's a music video. Peace.